Okay. I would like to call to order tonight's meeting at 5 p.m. It's May 27th. It is, we are here in LGI 1 at Tewksbury Memorial High School. I would like to first recognize two of our beloved members in our Tewksbury school community who have passed away recently. First, Mr. David Marcus, who was a Tewksbury man through and through. He was one of our physical education teachers here at Tewksbury High School. He was also a leader in our town, in our historical society. He is somebody who I'm sure our superintendent will mention a little bit more about in a moment. And then one of our own, Mr. Jamie Cutlass, who is not here with us, passed away, just prior to our last meeting, which is why we canceled our last meeting. But we'd like to honor and recognize him. We have a bouquet of flowers at his seat tonight in his honor. We'll be honoring him as well at a future meeting. But if we could all just take a moment of silence in their honor. Thank you very much. And if we could all now rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have some special guests with us here tonight. Mrs. Terry Regan will mention them in just a moment. But at the table with us, I'd like to welcome, we have one of our new student representatives with us, Aria Milner, so welcome. And we'll hear from you guys in a little bit. So, Mrs. Terry Regan.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. We have several athletes that we'll be recognizing and honoring for their amazing season this school year. I think it's an understatement to say that you have entertained and excited us all throughout your playing, but more than that, we understand as you're being recognized tonight, it's really the hard work that we don't see that led to those many games and those many events that we're so proud of. So I want to welcome our athletic director, Mr. Ronald Druin, up to the podium. And Mr. Druin might take the recognitions a little out of order than what's on the agenda. So Mr. Druin, I leave it up to you to invite our guests up. And again, guests, if you didn't hear from me, you're going to go to Mr. Druin's left. So the camera right here picks you up as you're being honored tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. We got a bunch here, and I want to just try to go through. I know there's a lot of things on the agenda. First group I'd like to recognize is our esports team. If we could have our esports people come up here. Esports gaming is taking off across the state, and we've had a program here at the high school for a while. Our program is very successful. They are the Massachusetts State Champs in Rocket League. They are the New England State Champs in Rocket League. Sean has been in our program for a while. He's won numerous state championships here. Mr. Arbogast is a fantastic leader of our program. They were invited to play the best teams in New England, and they beat them all. It's a fantastic year for our esports team, and I can't say enough about the job Mr. Arbogast does and our kids do with gaming. And it's a pleasure to kind of have this program grow in our school. So our esports team is our New England champs in Rocket League. Mm-hmm.
So I have the recognition proclamation here. Whereas the Tewksbury Memorial High School esports team consisting of Sean Komersky, Dylan Mellon, and Adam Festa were coached by Sanford Arbogast. And whereas the TMHS eSport team was the Rocket League state champions. And whereas the TMHS eSports team was the New England Rocket League champion. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many efforts of the Tewksbury Memorial High School esports team.
Coach Arbogast and team, I welcome you to stand right in front of the artwork there, and we'll get a picture of you. Thank you.
The MIA will be coming in tomorrow to bring them their state championship trophy, so well done with our esports team. Our next four guys are seniors here at the high school. They have done so much for us athletically. This first guy's a three-sport kid, Sean Callahan. So Sean, come up. Sean is a first-team all-conference football player. He is the 138-pound Division III sectional champ. He's the 138-pound Division III state champ. He is a valuable member of our lacrosse team. Fantastic athlete here at the high school. Sean gets to sit at the table at his house. His brother was a state champ. He's now a state champ. So little pressure on Ryan, who's a younger junior here in high school. A little pressure now on Ryan. But Sean and Jack have won state championships. The Callahan family is fantastic. They do so much for our wrestling program. And Sean has just had a fantastic career here. And I can't say enough about his character. He's a first-class kid from a first-class family who's done first-class things on the athletic field. So Sean Callahan, our Massachusetts Division III state champion.
We have a recognition for Sean, whereas Sean Callahan was the Division III sectional champion, and whereas Sean Callahan was the Division III state champion, and whereas Sean Callahan was the Merrimack Valley Conference first team all conference. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many efforts of
Thank you.
Our next guy is Johnny Sullivan. And the next three guys, Johnny Sullivan, Tyler Bourget, and Nicky DeSisto. I think when you look at the history of the school and you look at in different towns or different times, people have discussions about who's the best basketball player who ever played at the school, who's the best hockey player who ever played at the school, who's the best wrestler that ever wrestled at the school. I think the next three guys have put themselves in that discussion. When they discuss basketball and they look at who's the best player, Johnny's going to be in that discussion. Whether people agree that he's the best or not, he's going to be discussed in that discussion. He's a 3-year starter. His sophomore year, he would have been a 4-year starter. His sophomore year, he ends up tearing his ACL in a football game. Missed his entire sophomore year. He would have been a 1,000-point scorer. He's a multiple-time all-conference player. He's a multiple-time player of the year. He was named to the Mass Basketball Coaches Association Division III All-State team, as well as being named to the Super 26 football team. So he's made the All-State team in football and basketball. Fantastic athlete, again, fantastic family, super supportive, a winner in everything that he does. It's been a pleasure to watch his career. So one of the best athletes that's walked this building, and clearly in the discussion for the best basketball player that's ever played at this school, Johnny Sullivan.
recognition, whereas Johnny Sullivan was named the MDC2 Player of the Year, and whereas Johnny Sullivan was the Boston Herald All-Scholastic, and whereas Johnny Sullivan was named to the Massachusetts Basketball Coaches Association Division III All-State Team. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many efforts of Johnny Sullivan.
Next guy is Tyler Bourget. Come on, Ty. Fantastic hockey player. Took us to the state finals. Player of the year in the conference. He's the Boston Globe super. He's on the Boston Globe and Boston Herald super team. He absolutely shattered our school scoring record. It was somewhere in the mid 160s. Tyler's got 198 or 199 points. Obliterated it. As good a hockey player as I've seen play high school hockey, teams would do things to him and try to mug him, assault him, whatever they needed to do on the ice, try to keep him from scoring. Just a fantastic player. Most colleges, almost all, want hockey players in college to go and play juniors for a couple years. They don't want you to be a freshman until you're 21 or 22 years old. Assumption? Assumption is taking Tyler at 18 years old. So he's that skilled, he's that gifted, got great hands, great scorer, fantastic hockey player, has been a leader in our program, he's taken us to the Garden multiple times, a winner in every sense, got every award he possibly could win, and well deserved. So Tyler Bourget, again, when we have that discussion about the best hockey players that have ever played at this school, his points say he belongs right at the top of that list. So Tyler Bourget.
Whereas Tyler Bourget was the Massachusetts Hockey Coaches Association State Player of the Year, and whereas Tyler Bourget was the Tewksbury Memorial High School all-time leading scorer, and whereas Tyler Bourget was the MVC DCL2 Player of the Year, and whereas Tyler Bourget made the Boston Herald and Boston Globe All-Scholastic Super Team, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many efforts of Tyler Bourget.
Our last guy, individual here is Nicky DeSisto. Come on, Nicky. He's a 5-time sectional champ. He's a 4-time state champ. What's it, 5? 4-time state champ. He's an all-state champ. He's a New England champ. He is the Conference Wrestler of the Year. He is the Boston Globe Wrestler of the Year. Boston Herald Wrestler of the Year, undefeated his senior year, as good a wrestler as this high school has produced. Again, there's only been either 6 or 7 New England champs here, and Nicky's one of them. So again, you get into that discussion of who's the best wrestler. You got to have a New England champ to be in that discussion. The New England Championship belt to be in that discussion. Nicky's got it. He's again, he did so much for our football team. First team all-conference football player at running back and defensive back, and then rolls right into wrestling. As we played football into early December, he rolls right into wrestling with a broken hand. He breaks his hand in the first match of the season, misses 4 or 5 weeks, or he would have had 200 wins. He's somewhere in the 180s or 190s for wins. He missed 5 weeks of wrestling and still went undefeated, coming off a broken hand. Fantastic wrestler, fantastic family, fantastic athletic career. It's been a pleasure to watch him for 5 years wrestle for us. So Nicky DeSisto is as good as it gets in wrestling at Tewksbury High School. So congratulations.
Recognition, whereas Nicky DeSisto, 126-pound New England champion wrestler, was a 3-time New England finalist and a 1-time New England champion. And whereas Nicky DeSisto was a 5-time sectional champion, and whereas Nicky DeSisto was a 4-time Division III state champion, whereas Nicky DeSisto was a 3-time All-State finalist and a 1-time All-State champion, and whereas Nicky DeSisto was an MVC Wrestler of the Year, one more, and whereas Nicky DeSisto was named Boston Herald and Boston Globe All-Scholastic and Player of the Year. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many efforts. Congratulations.
Yeah, you can move in, girls, a little bit and get in close to Mr. Druin.
You got anybody?
Yeah.
All
Excellent.
right. The Red Rangers. They are the Division I girls state champion hockey team. Undefeated. Fantastic year. Great ride through the tournament. Kind of kept you on the edge of your seat every game they played. but with, you know, a lot of luck, a lot of hard work, a lot of talented kids, they managed to defeat Archbishop Williams 2-0 in the state championship game at the Garden. Fantastic year. Ryan Sheehy, our head coach, worked the past year on an interim tag, and last week, Methuen removed that tag. So welcome aboard, Coach Sheehy, full-time. That's awesome. Sammy Ryan was our leading scorer. She was named Boston Herald, Boston Globe, All-Scholastic. Lydia Barnes, our goalie, and Lila Chapman, our defenseman, were named Boston Herald and Boston Globe super team for both papers. And Coach Sheehy was named Boston Globe Coach of the Year. So fantastic year. Awesome girls to be around. Super positive. Their camaraderie and their teamwork. And it's not easy when you have two schools that have to come together. And these coaches have done a fantastic job all the way through the history of the program of making the Tewksbury kids feel comfortable at Methuen. That's not always easy. Different schools, you know, we pay a user fee, they don't, things like that. There's never been any issues with those things, and it has been a fantastic marriage. We've been very, very lucky to get the right coaches to make that work. And I couldn't be happy for these girls. They had a fantastic year and well-deserved state championship, especially beating a private school in the final. So, Red Rangers, Division I Girls State Championship Hockey Team.
For recognition, whereas the Methuen-Tewksbury Red Rangers girls ice hockey team were the MVC DCL1 League champions and the Massachusetts Division I state champions. And whereas the Methuen-Tewksbury Red Rangers girls ice hockey team were the only undefeated team in Massachusetts. And whereas head coach Ryan Sheehy was named the MVC LCL Coach of the Year and Boston Globe Coach of the Year. And whereas player Samantha Ryan made the Boston Globe and Boston Herald All-Scholastic. And whereas players Lydia Barnes and Lila Chapman made the Boston Globe and Boston Herald Super Team. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many efforts of the Methuen-Tewksbury Red Rangers girls ice hockey team.
Excellent.
Guys, thank you all for coming. I just want to say one thing, Mr. Druin, if I could, to all the athletes that have come today. Whether you participated as individual athletes in a sport or as a team, thank you so much for representing Tewksbury. I can't tell you the pride that I have opening the papers, seeing some of your names, seeing you all walk the halls, and seeing how well you all represent Tewksbury and you represent yourselves. You do an outstanding job. I'm going to miss some of you that are seniors next year because you have made Tewksbury better, you've made the school better, and you actually have represented yourselves and been such great role models for other students. So thank you so much. So, Mr. Jordan.
Real quick, thank you for having us. I want to welcome Steve, and I want to welcome Angela to the district. Welcome aboard. It's a great place to work. I want to congratulate Jason Stamp on hopefully his new position. I want to welcome and congratulate Ms. Nancy Milligan on her new position. And I certainly, Brenda's done so much for me. She's a friend. This is probably the last time that I'll get a chance to be here at a school committee meeting, and I publicly want to say thank you for all you've done for kids and for me, and I appreciate everything you did. Good luck in retirement. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Druin. I'll give everybody a moment. Okay. This will bring us to our student council representative report. Anything you wanted to add, Mrs. Terry Regan or Mrs. Miller, Dr. Miller?
Well, Mr. Druin, I just want to say thank you to you, not for those kind words, but for you to stand up at that podium and from the top of your head know every student athlete and every accomplishment, accolade is really, in my opinion, a testament to why we have such a strong athletic program. And that sits firmly on you. And I thank you.
They're great kids, right? Just get them where they gotta get to. They're awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. And so we have Maggie Kinnon, and we also have our new member with us. We don't have your name tag yet, but we will see if we get one for you, area. So however you guys want to do your report, welcome.
Yeah, I think I'm fully reading it tonight.
Okay.
Ari's just here to observe.
Okay, great.
So, good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off by introducing Aria Milner, who will be taking over the role of school committee rep for the 2026-2027 school year. Now for the report, first up is clubs. The Teenagers Theater Company has had an incredibly successful run of Matilda. Almost 80 students created a powerful story that so much of the Tewksbury community was able to enjoy. A huge congratulations to performing artists. The Teenagers Concert Band and Concert Choir had their spring concert this past Friday. Students sung and performed music from a variety of genres, and seniors were able to perform solos to celebrate their last time on the Team HS stage. 9 Team HS DECA students attended the DECA International Career Development Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, representing Team HS and Massachusetts DECA. 6 students competed in qualifying events, Mariela Bellino and Lila Reyes for Project Management Career Development for their Unified DECA program, Cameron Fischette and Jennelise Mercer in their Project Management Community Giving for the Megan McCarthy Fashion Show, and Sophie Scott and Allie Cook, who did the Powder Puff game. Additionally, 3 students attended the leadership conference while there, myself, Olivia Jensen, and Molly Witz. Finally this month, International Club members cleaned up the Shawsheen launch area and hosted a car wash. Next, I have updates on the Team HS sports. We are at that time of year again where teams are gearing up for postseason play. For our girls and boys track and field, all qualifying athletes will be spending Thursday and Saturday competing at the Division IV state meet. This will conclude both teams' successful year after capturing the MVC Small Championship title, remaining undefeated throughout the season in their dual meets. However, girls track does have an edge over the boys, being able to call themselves Division IV state relay champions for the first time since 2019. After a hard-fought season for many teams, they will be making their playoff runs, including our boys lacrosse team, boys tennis, and softball. Besides for team success, across the spring there also have been a handful of individual accolades. Both junior Ryan Brennan and Wally Jopp claimed their 100th lacrosse goal, while senior Lydia Barnes captured her 650th career stop in net. Lastly, for sports, as we wind down the year, there becomes an increasing number of student athletes who are committed to post-high school careers, ranging from Tegan Claycomb going for Assumption for track and field, to Colin Durkin going to Revere for baseball. And finally, the miscellaneous news. AP testing season is finally over for Team HS students. For 2 weeks, Team HS students spent hours taking a variety of exams, both Team HS regulars like AP Gov, and first-year classes such as environmental science. These results will be published in early July. Finally, the end of AP testing also marks seniors' last day in school, with the next week being focused on finishing and presenting their senior project before having fun at senior week in June. And that is all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Everyone, how was the leadership conference? What were some takeaways from that?
The leadership challenge was really fun. So the way it worked was I represented like Massachusetts with a couple other people, and so I got to meet people from like Indiana, Louisiana, California. So I think that was like the biggest takeaway, was meeting people from other states. And yes, it was like DECA focused, but the one I was in was a lot more than that. I feel like it was just making the connections and kind of like really getting out of your comfort zone. And I now like have people's Instagrams, which I know it sounds kind of funny,
No, it's
but
good.
like being able to connect with people too, and taking back those ideas to both DECA and then the other clubs I am in.
Yeah, networking's important. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you. So is this your last meeting, or are you with us in June?
I'm planning to come in June, but like Aria's gonna talk, so I'm here to watch Aria.
The baton, that's right.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you. And I appreciate you working with her in the overlap, so thank you.
I think it works out that we're the same grade, so it makes the transition a little easier, yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay, so we do have a little bit of work too in terms of the student rep. So we do have a handbook that came from Massachusetts Association of School Committees that we've used year to year, that we give to our student rep as they come on. And then we've taken that, compiled that into a document that we share with our student rep, that we've distributed amongst ourselves, looked at, that we will sign, our student rep will sign, and that was, shared with us for review. Are there any questions or comments on that?
No.
And Mrs. Terry Regan or Dr. Milligan, any comments or thoughts on your end?
I just think it's incredibly thoughtful how you've not only used the MASC book, but really focused it down to the key characteristics and attributes that we need and expect from our student representatives. So I think it was the meeting informative and helpful? Yeah. I really appreciate the work that you've put into that to bring up our student reps to a place of distinction that they deserve.
And the thanks really to Kayla, because she did most of the work in terms of the breakdown on that. So thank you very much for doing that work.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it, and then actually bringing that to fruition this year was good. So I think it's something that we should share with MASC to see if that's something they'd want to.
Sure, it
See if
will
other
serve
districts
as an
wanna use.
exemplar, for sure.
And any thoughts from you guys on you? We did add the edits that we talked about, so I think it's better than what we looked at the other day. So, all right. So,
Madam Chair, just a point of clarification. Do you need to vote on and implementing that document?
yeah. So it's just kind of now that we've opened it to discussion.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to approve the use of the student representative expectations form moving forward.
Second it.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So great. So we'll share that with you. Maybe I'll have Mrs. Caliendo get that out to you, and then maybe we'll just moving forward. We'll use that with members. I think that's great.
Yeah, if you have one more thing, if you have any questions about it, if there's a part in it that you want to ask, just reach out.
Okay.
I think the goal of that document, well, I probably could have said this before, was really to take that 20-something page booklet and give you something that's really easier to digest and give you an opportunity to use it to go to the booklet if you want to look for something else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, happy to provide more information or feedback on any of it if you have any questions.
Yeah, I'll reach out.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. And then for presentations, Mrs. Sheridan.
Sure. If I could welcome our 4 new and new role administrators up to the table, please. Madam Chair, we have 4 new Tewksbury Public School administrators to introduce and welcome to our district for the 26-27 school year. I'm going to begin with Mr. Steven Serapina. He joins us tonight as our new Wynn Middle School principal, replacing John Weir. Steven has teaching degrees in history and a master's degree in school administration. He holds multiple active DESE licenses, including middle and high school teacher, a principal licensure at all levels, and assistant superintendent licensure. Stephen began his career as an 8th grade middle school history teacher and then has 17 years of school administrative experience as principal at the high school, middle school, and elementary school levels. Stephen's references best describe him as a collaborative relationship builder with all, as an empowering and trusting administrator, supportive and dedicated mentor, discreet, accessible, visible, and communicative. You probably know who we're talking about when I read these adjectives who said this. Intelligent and articulate, compassionate, devoted and hardworking, unassuming and sincere, adaptable, always ready to learn new skills to move our schools forward, and most of all, student-centered. Stephen was our search committee's top finalist for his observed knowledge and experience as notably evidenced in our interviews. I introduce to you Mr. Stephen Serapina.
Thank you, Superintendent, and thank you, School Committee, for having me here tonight. I just want to say I'm super excited to be here. I can already tell this is an unbelievable district, and I've had the opportunity. I was at the Wynn today. I've had the opportunity to sit with John and Victoria for multiple times now. I was able to meet with the staff today. I plan on spending more time at the school as much as I can. I'll be at the 6th grade parent night and also when the 6th graders come up for the day. So I'm just really excited to get going. And like I said, I'm going to be here as much as I possibly can between now and the end of the school year so that come July 1st, we're ready to roll. But thank you again for having me.
You're welcome. Yeah, any questions or comments?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no, we're excited too.
Great.
All right, Madam Chair. Next, we have Ms. Angela Lawler Brennan. She joins us as our new Director of Student and Family Support, replacing Karen Baker O'Brien. Angela holds a degree in psychology, master's degrees in school counseling, leadership, and special education, and her postgraduate degrees are in administrative leadership, school counseling, and guidance counseling. She is DESE licensed in school counseling, adjustment counseling, social work, with principal licensure in grades 5 through 12, special education administration licensure, supervisor director of per pupil personnel, director and supervisor of counseling licensure, and assistant superintendent licensure too. Angela has grown a practice through several years of school guidance counseling, school adjustment counseling, and college and career counseling. At the college level, Angela has experience as a faculty and student support specialist and academic and transfer counselor, and also as a school and district leader as a director of admissions, counseling and health services, college and career pathway coordinator, and an assistant director of student support services. Most recently, Angela comes to us as the director of school counseling grades 6 through 12. Angela's references consistently describe her as an exceptional high-impact leader who is data-driven, visionary, and a strategic systems thinker, supportive and practical problem-solving skills, an empowering leader, relationship builder and cultivator, empathetic, equity-focused, reflective and growth-minded, relentless and energetic. You must be with all those licenses and degrees. Compassionate and approachable, dedicated, devoted, and motivated, confident, independent, and insightful, exemplary and transformational, and most of all, Angela is described as a student-centered advocate. Angela was also our search committee top finalist throughout the process. I welcome and introduce you to Miss Angela Lawler Brennan.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here and hit the ground running July 1st. Like the superintendent said, my main focus will be on student and family support, and that's been my entire career. So thank you for this opportunity.
Welcome.
Welcome to the district.
Thank you. Yeah, no questions, yeah.
All right, we'll keep going. Our next new administrator is someone you already know. Madam Chair, based on the endorsement from your next superintendent, Dr. Milligan, I am sharing my formal recommendation for your next assistant superintendent of schools, Mr. Jason Stamp. Jason has a master's degree in math education as well as DESE licensure as a school principal, math director, and assistant superintendent. Jason has 27 years in educational experience, 10 as a high school math teacher, 8 years as our high school assistant principal, and the last 9 years as our district STEM and IT director. Jason has been with us at Tewksbury Public Schools for 22 of those 27 years. Jason, did I get the math right, Jason? Okay. Jason's references highly endorse him as a collaborative, steady, and technically skilled educational leader. They highlight these attributes: calming, patient, and level-headed, a stabilizing presence, kind and reassuring, technically adept and analytical, results-oriented, equity-minded, respectful and collegial, open to feedback, bridges visions to operations, loyal and dedicated, and Jason describes himself as empathetic and curious, and someone who truly loves the Tewksbury community. I would say that Jason brings a level of historical and institutional knowledge in Tewksbury Public Schools operations that can truly benefit not only Dr. Milligan, but the entire district as we welcome in several new administrators and strive to forward our district strategic plan for improvement, which Jason has helped to create. Madam Chair, my recommendation of Jason Stamp as the district's next assistant superintendent of schools will require a vote of the school committee.
Thank you. Oh, I'll let you speak first. Mr. Stamp?
Thank you, Brenda, for the kind words. It's honestly been a privilege being a part of this district for the last 22 years. Sounds like a long time, actually. I said in my interview, I told a little story about when I first walked onto this property at the old building over there, and it was just, ever since then, it's really been an honor to work here. And I'm just really excited to continue all the great work, continue to work with Dr. Milligan. I'm just really excited, so thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, great. Any questions or comments?
Congratulations.
I mean, I had the pleasure of being in the final interview process, and I think, you know, the idea of you moving on to this new position makes me excited to think about what might happen now with the space that you're leaving open. I can't help but think about now what's going to happen with IT and all this work that you've been doing. You know, even with the looking at all of you together, it makes me think about the culture of Tewksbury, the potential for growth in Tewksbury. I like change. I enjoy change. I hate change at the same time. So, you know, it's hard for me. It's a struggle. I'm going to desperately be sad to miss the people that leave, but then I get excited about the potential for students and what the opportunities are that we can think about bringing to them. So what I've heard about the two of you, what I know about the two of you, makes me really, really excited for Tewksbury. So, you know, Jason, the things that you've talked about were great. So I, you know, have no more discussion in terms of, you know, the vote that we need to take.
Okay. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a, I've lost my words. A motion, thank you. I went blank. A motion to approve the superintendent recommendation for the assistant superintendent, Jason Stam.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. So for a roll call vote, how do you vote, Mr. Lloyd?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Vietnam Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So there'll be a unanimous vote of 4.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yeah, okay, Madam Chair. And then to round out our new members of our administrative team, and I know that you voted on Dr. Milligan's contract and appointment at the last meeting, but we're going to do the list for her as well. Nancy needs no introductions, but I thought it was appropriate to also highlight her qualifications and attributes. Nancy has an early childhood education degree, master's degree in curriculum and instruction with literacy development, and most recently a doctorate degree in educational leadership and schooling. Nancy is in her 26th year of educational experience, 7 years as an early childhood educator, 3 years as a literacy specialist, 5 years as a director of curriculum, and 12 years as an assistant superintendent, with her last 2 years here in Tewksbury. Nancy is described as a highly capable and impactful administrator. The key characteristics and adjectives that best describe her include a supportive leader and mentor, a collaborative problem solver. She is equity and inclusion focused, student-centered for all, highly visible, a visionary, supportive, that came up more than once, a dedicated and high-caliber instructional leader, steadfast in her core values, deeply invested, prepared, trustworthy and committed, both decisive and reflective, and exudes confidence. I have known Nancy for 12 years now as we started the assistant superintendent journey together. We have collaborated on so many projects and initiatives, too many to mention, on behalf of students, families, and staff needs through both difficult and very good times. So I can vouch for everything her references say and so much more. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee, for choosing Dr. Nancy Milligan as our next superintendent of Tewksbury Public Schools.
Thank you. Any words?
Congratulations again.
Now I think we should, the last meeting.
Yeah, we said our words.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would like to say that I don't think I've said publicly is how much I enjoyed the process with you. And some of the moments, I think, when we sat with students, and how many students do you think we had? Maybe
12 to 20.
maybe 15 or
Filled
so.
the whole.
15 seemed about right.
Yeah, 15 or so students from all kind of areas of the high school. And I think they were pretty candid. I think some of the questions they asked were really hard. And I think you did a really nice job in listening to students, and just your honesty with them was was awesome. I think, you know, some of the questions, I think I've heard a lot of educators in our district, and how they would respond to things. And I appreciate some of your responses, as just being really honest and sincere. And I like that. So, then I think when we sat with, people from our community, you know, it wasn't a large group. It was really bad weather that night. And so we had some people that couldn't show up, and there was a basketball game that was delayed. So, you know, we just kind of walked around and asked people if they were interested in coming, and people just came. And when they came in, they were unprepared, you were unprepared, and so the questions were really very honest. And I think I again, really, really liked the fact that it was a really good experience to see you just interact with people in a way that I don't get to see all the time. So anyway, it was a good experience, the process. So thank you for sharing that. That's proud of yourself. Thank you. Anything you want to share with us?
Sure. Like I said, when I was appointed, I am more than excited for this opportunity. I have very big shoes to fill. As Mrs. Terry O'Regan has said, we have been together for 12 years on and off, working collaboratively across districts. I believe in this district. I feel very fortunate. I was walking in tonight telling Mrs. Terry O'Regan how connected I feel to this district. And I look forward to, with this team and our leadership team and our staff and our students, help to grow this district to the next wonderful place that it can go. So I'm very excited for this opportunity. So thank you so much for entrusting me.
Thank you.
Well, Madam Chair, as you mentioned, there'll be 2 more administrator announcements within the next month or two. Obviously, we've posted for our business manager to replace Dave when he retires in November, but we now have a position to fill with our Director of IT and STEM, so more to come on that.
Okay. Thank you.
I will have Ms.
Thank you all very much again for coming. I know it's been a long day for some of you. Is there anybody here to speak for Citizens Forum?
We'll do the fund run.
Oh, fund run. I'm sorry. Fund run.
Yes. Madam Chair, well,
Yes, please come join
they're
us.
coming up to the table with us tonight, our Principal Andrew Long and one of our school counselors, Chrissy Souter. They're here to describe a new fundraising event that they're hoping to try to collaborate with all 3 of the student classes of 27, 28, and 29. You see the long list of details and activities that Chrissy and her group have already participated in tonight. They're here to share some of that with you in the hopes that you will approve this event so they can move forward with signing of the contract and registering participants for this fund run.
Okay.
With that,
Thank you for being here and your patience. Thank you. Okay.
I'll give you sort of an overview, and then if you have specific questions, Chrissy can answer them for you. The idea came up with the various classes to try to run one big event instead of targeting sort of the same group of people that, whether it's athletics or clubs, like these, you know, the car washes and the bake sales and those kinds of things. And so Ms. Sutter has some experience running some fundraisers with her side. So she has some experience of that. And again, the idea is to sort of target an outside group to sort of help fund us instead of always going, you know, to the same families over and over. And again, just some of the things, some of the legwork that she did included, you know, the TPS facilities forms and working and meeting with the Tewksbury Police and Fire, the Board of Health, the Select Board, the timing company to run this. So there's a lot of coordination of this, and it's sort of the, you know, which comes first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing. And, you know, and that now we're finally sort of everything's lined up here, and we're asking, you know, that this be approved to sort of run that, again, for the benefit of all of our students in our school.
Madam Chair, it would be important for me to mention that the list of details and the event planning is in compliance with your school committee policy on planning fundraising events, and then some. Just similarly, the approach was taken like an out-of-state or out-of-country field trip. because they are signing contracts with outside agencies with waivers. So I can assure you from the list of things that have already been done, the policy has been followed.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
A couple. So the route, what's the route going to be?
It basically circles those.
Yeah, where the other clubs run, that Whipple,
It's been used before. It's the standard 5K route
Yeah.
that the police said has been
it's
used.
like Pleasant to Whipple
Pleasant
to
to
Pine,
Whipple to Pine,
Chandler.
up,
Yeah,
I think Helvetia back.
yeah, okay.
Big
Yeah.
rectangle.
And so obviously, dumb question, open to the public. And is there going to be a cap on how many people can sign up?
No.
It's just as many as we can get, right? Good. Yeah, obviously, that's, okay. Yeah, no, I think it's great. I don't really have any issues with it. I think it sounds like a great idea. So, thank you.
No, those were pretty much the same things I was looking at, so it was mainly just the route, just to make sure everyone knew and had
And we
some
have-
plan set up.
There's a lot of input from like the Tewksbury Police especially about sort of expectations,
Right.
the water stations, and, you know, we'll have adults and cones and all those kinds of things, so.
So I have questions about the, how the students will be fundraising. I don't think the form that we had didn't really go into depth in
Yep,
that.
so there's a cost to participate in the race. So the entry fee is, I think, $40 per person. And so those funds will be divided between the 3 classes.
So will they be soliciting any funds for like, in general completion, like to raise funds on, do they have a page? I'm trying to think of similar to like the,
Oh, no, it would just be a race.
registering?
Yep.
Okay, and then what's the percentage of? Does the timer and timing and all that, do they take anything from?
Yep, so the timer is $1,500.
Oh, okay, just like a
and so
one.
that would come from the total revenue that we make.
Yeah, I love group fundraising. We've done, Chris, Bridget, myself, we've done a lot of former fundraising with the fun runs and those in the elementary schools, and they're always so well received and fun for the kids and the spectators and whoever else is around. So I love the collaboration. I think we tap into our businesses in town quite a bit. And I think this is a great idea to try to help make it easier for the students, make it easier for the businesses. So I love it. I think it's great.
So if I were to sign up for the race cost is $40 plus a processing fee of $4. So I would do the 40 and then I would pay an additional 4. Yep, so the 4 is the processing fee for using the website.
Okay.
And that way we don't lose that money and that covers the cost of the website for us.
Okay, so the 40 would go directly to you, 100%, okay. So you don't pay this runsignup.com doesn't make any money from you at all?
They make the $4 processing fee.
Just the $4? Okay. And then the town of Tewksbury didn't give you a cap on the number of people that you could have?
No, I mean, our goal is 500, and they said if it gets to that, like, if it gets past that, we would, let the police department know, but, I mean, I don't think we're gonna get to 500, I hope that we will.
So they did say 500?
That was what I had put in as our goal.
Okay. And then do you have to pay for details or anything?
Yeah, we will cover that cost.
Do you have a detail cost?
Yeah.
So it's $1,500 for the timers? And
The police
details on top of that?
is 70 an hour, I believe.
So the $1,500 is just the people who time the end of the race? That's a company. And then how many details do you need?
How many police officers?
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure.
They didn't give you a quote,
No, I was just told it was 70 an hour for the police.
but they didn't say like so if it's a standard route, they didn't say about how many?
No, but I can double check that.
I mean, it might be worth asking them, like, if they've done this race before, you're, like, Officer Saad, I don't know if you're working with him, might be the one to say to you, yeah, we typically use 9 officers.
They won't need that many, but.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
And for how many hours?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking of how much money, I don't know.
I think some of that will be based on the amount of runners that they have. If there's like 40 runners, you're not going to need the same amount as the 500 runners going, because you're not going to be out there as long.
And it's really at those key traffic areas when they're taking a corner, and that's basically how it is the whole way. It's a rectangle, and then there'll be adult volunteers, with student volunteers. We wouldn't have students at those busy areas. Those
Right.
would be our police detail.
Okay.
I guess,
It does say in their correspondence, please contact the Tewksbury Police Department should you wish to arrange for detail officers for the event. So it doesn't specify an amount, but we would probably have somebody there anyway.
I just didn't know if you were using like volunteers to kind of direct your,
Oh, we'll definitely have volunteers, but I
your
think
traffic.
Not
so it's
only,
required to have
yeah.
Yeah, I guess, thinking, did they mention anything about closing streets? Because I know the other runs that do that route don't close streets.
they're
They
gonna
don't.
close a portion of the street just until people pass through.
Right.
So it's not gonna be
That will be the
fully
busy
closed.
area where they cross.
Yeah, they have traffic cones. It says their traffic cones will be placed across the left side of Pleasant Street from the high school to Whipple Road. So that part sort of narrowed there, but once they're, my understanding is they're not planning on closing that, so.
Madam Chair, if it pleases you, we certainly can come back in the fall. Well, you can come back in the fall with the final details of registration, those types of things, because all of those associated costs will come out of the fundraising.
Just having worked on the parade pretty closely, with the people right behind you there, and understanding the road closures and things like that, I just want to ensure that you have enough people working with you on the school side. I know you've done this before. I just want to make sure that this doesn't come back on the district, that you have the right number of people working on this, that's all.
Again, according to the police department guidance, it says course volunteers must be stationed at key points along the course, particularly at left-hand turns. So going Pleasant to Whipple, Whipple to Pine there. So there's also a water station. So yeah, there are, designated spots where we have volunteers.
Okay, all right.
And again, the idea is, so if we do get 500 runners, right, that's 20 grand in fees that's generated, minus the 1,500, minus the police details, it's still a great chunk of change for a one-day event that.
Okay, good. That's what I'm hoping to hear.
Exactly.
I'm hoping to hear, like, where's the,
Well, we'll have to open up our bathrooms, obviously,
Okay.
but other than that, the costs are minimal.
I have a follow-up question, Madam Chair.
Yeah,
So
okay.
how is this going to be promoted? And like, when would you start promoting it?
Yesterday. I mean, as soon as tomorrow, we will start promoting it. Social media, through the school newsletters, through whatever means we can.
And like, I think there's like the Lowell, is there like the Lowell Road Runners?
Yeah, we will contact all the
Yeah.
local running.
Yeah, so
Right.
there's, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the sooner you can get out there, the more places that.
And everything's online, so, it'll be easy to sort of spread that word.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm very much in support of this, 100% in support of it. I just have, I get anxious about.
No, we understand.
Protecting our,
Yeah.
I've driven down Pleasant in the middle of a road
I've
race
lost a
without
few
really
dogs on
knowing.
Whipple, so I live on Whipple. It's a tough, some of these roads are
No,
tough.
for Chandler to comment on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm 100% in support. I have no issues or concerns. I would love to hear more about it in the fall as you get closer and you have, more information, and I'd love to help you support it and promote it even, so whatever I can do.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the MHS fund run as presented, with the hope that maybe someone can come back before October and just give some final details of what to expect, maybe the September meeting.
Second that? Yep. Either one.
Yep, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Anything we can do, please reach out through Dr. Milligan. And again, thanks for your patience.
Yeah, thank you.
Had a night. Okay, and Citizens Forum, is there anybody here that has signed up to speak or would like to speak?
Everyone, I'm Pepper Pardo, First Street in town. I'm here to comment on the before and after school program that's in your agenda later. I think with a presentation on it. I'm representing the Tewksbury Special Education PAC as their co-chair. A few comments about the process and potential vendor. Any program operating at Tewksbury Public Schools should reflect our values as a community and include all students. If a student with disabilities spends their day in our classrooms, they should have equal access and opportunity to participate in any programming that we are allowing a vendor to come in and provide. A few years ago, before we outsourced this, all of our students were included. When we outsourced this to a vendor, our students with disabilities lost access and opportunity, despite many conversations and assurances to the contrary. If we are to move forward with our current provider, I would ask that there is more oversight into how inclusive they truly are. Are we looking at data to show the students that are not accepted to their programming or are pushed out of their programming? Are they reporting that back to the district? Are they actually collaborating with our student services office to make sure that those students are being supported? That is not happening now. They did say in the beginning they were so open to this collaboration. That is not happening in practice. If they were to say a student could not be supported in their programming, there really should be a conversation and that data should be tracked and they should be held accountable to that. The contract language should reflect our values as a community and make sure that they are held to those assurances that they will give us that these children are able to participate in their programming. Otherwise, as we all know in the world of an IEP, if it is not in writing, it does not need to happen. Same with contract language. I also ask that they not be granted a 3-year contract, but a limited contract, where they have to show that they can make these improvements, include all of our students, and be a good neighbor in our schools by collaborating with our staff and administrative offices when an issue arises. If that cannot happen, we should be looking elsewhere. Future committees to look for a vendor should absolutely include representation from the Student Services Office, specifically special education administrators. They are hearing from families who are not able to participate. And it's not overt. It's not like they're getting a letter saying they can't come. It's very subtle. It is hidden in their staffing ratios. It's hidden in a feeling of your child not being welcome, hearing about behavior issues. Whereas we know by our school day, students who are properly supported, if they're already participating in our classrooms, absolutely should be able to participate in any kind of before or after school programming. It is unacceptable that not all of our students have the same opportunity. We should also be included parent voices when we are looking at a vendor. Parents are the one that are paying for the service. We should be asking them how they think that service is going for them. And we shouldn't settle. We're not going to find a vendor that is going to tick all of the boxes. We're just not. Nobody's perfect. But the line should be every single student needs to be able to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Beck. Okay, as you know, we don't respond, but we appreciate your comments. Our approval of minutes, April 1st, 15th, and the 18th.
I'll sit out of the first. Sit out one.
Do you still want to ask for a motion?
Yeah, I move to approve the April 1st, 2026 joint meeting of the Select Board and School Committee.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Abstain.
Abstains with one abstention, Mr. Lloyd.
And move to approve the April 15th, 2026 regular school committee meeting.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And move to approval of minutes from the May 18th, 2026 special school committee meeting.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay, first and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Okay, and now we have submission of payment of bills.
Move to approve the submission and payment of bills for payroll period ending in April 23rd, 2026 in the amount of $1,739,091.08.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mrs. Biagioni Smith to approve and certify the payroll period ending April 23rd, 2026, total amount of $1,739,091.08. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Biagioni Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well.
Move to approve the submission and payment of bills for payroll period ending May 7th, 2026 in the amount of $1,690,481.47.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mrs. Biagioni Smith to approve and certify payroll period ending May 7th, 2026, total amount $1,690,481.47. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Biagioni Smith?
Aye.
And aye as well.
And move to approve the submission and payment of bills for payroll period ending May 21st, 2026 in the amount of $1,779,188.87.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mrs. Biagioni Smith to approve and certify payroll period ending May 21st, 2026, total amount $1,779,188.87. Mr. Lloyd? how do you
Aye.
vote? Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Biagioni Smith?
Aye.
And I am also aye. And now for our staff reports, Mrs. Terry O'Regan.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I did want to just take a brief moment to talk about the man, David Marcus, that many of you might have known. I had the pleasure of having David Marcus as my first grade PE teacher at the Heathbrook School. He was with Tewksbury for a long time, and I can just say he was just so much fun. But Dave was more than just a PE teacher. He truly, truly, truly loved the rich history and the environment here in Tewksbury. In fact, I remember, and some of you may remember, that he started the patriotic play. Imagine a PE teacher getting the kids to actually do a line of march, either acting as the Patriots or the British. That was pretty special. He created a nature trail at the Heathbrook to honor and preserve space for our native painted turtles. Again, not a typical PE program. He hand-strung snowshoes so our students in the winter could get outside and learn how to snowshoe. This was not your average PE teacher. He was just, I would say, legendary in the types of PE programs he brought. But even more so, if you had the opportunity to talk to Dave, you were spending hours with him to just hear all about the rich history around us. So he will certainly be missed as an educator and a great man that advocated for Tewksbury. And with that, I have some recognitions as well. You can see around the room our amazing student artists and performers were showcased at the 42nd Annual Art Show on May 8th. You can see their pieces of art here. I wish you could hear them as well. Mr. Marshall has promised to weave these images into our meeting recording tonight, as they do make a beautiful backdrop. The district newsletter will also recognize all our students who received an award, but clearly their talent is nurtured by our fine and performing arts teachers, who we are very appreciative of in developing Tewksbury as an arts town. Next, I want to share that Wynn Middle School 8th grader Allie Carr is currently a national finalist in Colossal America's Favorite Student Competition, a nationwide campaign raising funds and awareness for the Planetary Society, which the competition ended this past Thursday, May 21st, and the grand prize winner will be officially announced on or around June 5th. Allie is a future hopeful female pilot and has the opportunity to win $20,000 to use towards flight lessons to become a pilot. If she wins, she'll not only win that $20,000, but will also win a trip to meet Bill Nye, the science guy, one of her inspirations, and she gets a story in Reader's Digest. So we're all rooting for Allie, and even if she doesn't win, I can tell you Allie is an amazing student, and we're lucky to have her here in Tewksbury. You'll also see in your information packet that MAFLA has recognized 4 of our students and 1 teacher here at the high school for these awards. Alan Dang for excellence in Spanish, Valerie Bazire for excellence in French, Emily Caldwell, excellence in Latin, Catherine Melendez Portillo, MAFLA Student Leadership Award, and Dr. Bailey Mahoney, our Tewksbury Memorial High School World Language Lead Teacher. She is receiving a MAFLA Excellence Recognition for her dedication and support towards our world language students and achievement. Congratulations to all of our MAFLA Award recipients. On the topic of awards and recognitions, as some of you know, you were there. Last week, we celebrated the Tewksbury Memorial High School Annual Scholarship and Awards Ceremony. I'm proud to tell you and our audience, anyone who's listening, that 66 donors gifted over $210,000 in student scholarships. 119 of our 187 graduated students won an award or scholarship. This is a new record high in dollars and number of students receiving awards. I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say how deeply appreciative we are that these Tewksbury community members and beyond share their support and enthusiasm towards our graduating seniors. Next Thursday, June 4th, is Future Teacher Signing Day. We started this tradition last year here at Tewksbury Public Schools. It's a celebratory event where graduating high school or seniors or college students formally sign letters of intent to pursue careers in education. Similar to athletic signing ceremonies, these events elevate teaching as a profession and honor students committed to joining the field. So I welcome you, Madam Chair, and members of the committee to join us here at the high school at 12:30, again on June 4th, at the Tewksbury Memorial High School front office. Then, the ultimate of celebrations of our students' culminating success is our graduating seniors who will be attending their commencement ceremony next Friday night at 6 p.m., marking their conclusion with us here at Tewksbury Public Schools. Again, members of the committee, if you are coming, we welcome you, and certainly let Ms. Caliendo know so she can RSVP for you. I want to talk a little bit about summer school. I'm pleased to say that we will be running our high school credit recovery and attendance recovery summer school for both Winnan high school students to assure our students are on target for high school completion and ultimately graduation themselves. As you know, for many years, due to the infusion of grant funds, Tewksbury Public Schools has been able to offer a tuition-free academic credit recovery program during the summer. This year, we are forced to run our summer school as a tuition-based program as we no longer receive the ASOST grants, that's the after-school and out-of-school time grant, due to in large part to Tewksbury's noncompliance with the MBTA Communities Act, and our federal Title IV grants no longer allow us to use our funds this way. Fortunately, there is some service learning grant funding left over from a grant that was awarded to Tewksbury previously. Dr. Basteri has obtained permission from DESE to use this grant money to offset teacher stipends for the service learning portion of summer school. But this grant money will not fully cover the cost of staff who will be working in the program. There will be a $225 tuition rate per course for students that have failed a mandatory course necessary for staying on track for high school success. We have secured staff interested in running the program and will be reaching out to families of these targeted students soon. I do want to draw your attention to your packet. You'll see a lengthy document which lists all the activities our schools are hosting to transition our students and families into the next school year. It may seem weird that we're talking about that now, where we haven't even ended this school year, but as you can see, some of those events are already underway. Parents and caregivers should reach out to their school principals if they have any questions, and of course, we'll be publishing these documents in our newsletter this Friday as well as throughout the summer. With that, that concludes my updates for this evening.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
No. I thought I had one, but I think I forgot it. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Milligan.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. For my updates tonight, first, we are excited to share that the Tewksbury School District has been recognized by the Healy Driscoll administration as part of the expansion of Innovation Career Pathways, ICP, across Massachusetts. Starting the 26-27 school year, Tewksbury students will have access to the pathway in environmental and life sciences, connecting them to real-world experience, advanced coursework, and internship opportunities in one of the state's fastest-growing fields, all at no cost. This designation places Tewksbury among 130 high schools statewide offering these programs, which are helping over 8,500 students across Massachusetts explore high-demand careers and prepare for success in college and beyond. We're proud of this recognition and look forward to the exciting opportunities it will bring to our students. In our end-of-year event calendar that's been shared with everyone, we head into the final stretch of the school year, and there's a lot to celebrate. Be sure to check out the end-of-year event calendar for full details on everything that's coming up. This week is packed with meaningful milestones. On Thursday, May 29th, tomorrow, we'll be honoring our students with the Seal of Biliteracy, a Massachusetts state recognition awarded to high school graduates who have demonstrated proficiency in English and at least one other additional world language. Since its inception in 2018, with just 8 qualifying students, Tewksbury's Seal of Biliteracy program has continued to grow, and we will celebrate 48 graduating seniors tomorrow night. Massachusetts maintains some of the highest qualification standards in the nation, often reflecting some of the world language programs that are built for 6 to 8 years of study. However, in the Tewksbury Public Schools, we have our students being awarded and obtaining these designations in only 2 to 4 years. In addition to the students earning the seal through our French, Latin, and Spanish programs, students have also taken it upon themselves and obtained recognition this year in native languages of Haitian Creole, Portuguese, and Urdu. Also tomorrow, our seniors will take center stage at the Senior Project Exposition, where they'll present their culmination of their independent work to the school community. We look forward to seeing what they've accomplished tomorrow at the high school. Meanwhile, students at CS are wrapping up their week with field days this week, a great opportunity for fun and connection before we transition into the senior week activities to close out the year in style. In your consent agenda, we do have 2 donations for you to look at tonight. The Wynn Middle School will be the recipient of a $1,000 scholarship from the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition for the Promising STEM Innovation Award. This will be used for the purpose of purchasing technology items and a variety of STEM curriculum support materials at the building. And second, the Dewing Elementary School will be the recipient of 2 new benches for their B-Wing recess area from the Dewing School PAC, valued at about $1,000. We thank the PAC and Samsung for their generosity and support. And that's all I have for my update tonight.
Thank you. Any questions?
I do have one. You mentioned senior project, and I guess this would be for, but are we still planning on having something as part of an agenda on that?
At the June meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Principal Long will share with you some pre and post survey information from our students that, articulate how the experience went for them. I think it would be worth it if you can pop in tomorrow morning to see some of those projects, because, they're just always so impressive. And what each student gets out of it is very different. It's great to hear from them live. But we'll invite some of them in if they'll come back. For the June 10th meeting.
Right, okay, great.
And that's at 11:30 tomorrow.
It's late here at 11:30.
No,
I
hold
have
on.
it here.
I have-
the Friday, 8 to 10.
See, I have the 29th, 8 to 10. That's what I have as well.
I have it on my calendar tomorrow at 11:30.
So I was going off my calendar for my
Again,
report,
VIP.
so.
Yeah, right.
Let us do this. You know what it is? They're coming into, they practice, I think, tomorrow
Okay.
with their advisors.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, but let me just make sure, and if it is not the 29th, at 8 o'clock, we will let you know.
I will research it right now.
I'll be at fourth grade field day, so.
Okay.
That is correct, because we have had second and third grade already this week.
Yeah, so I'll be there.
It's been
Yeah, I
very,
can be
very
there Friday, but
fun and raucous outside our window.
That was my only question, Madam Chair.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Any other
Look it up.
questions?
no, that was all I had.
Could we go back to the environmental and life sciences?
Yes.
How did you qualify for this?
I can share that with
Sure.
you.
Yeah.
As you know, I mean, building on our CTE programming, career technical education, and innovative pathways. This has been a long time in the making.
Right.
And you really have to tip your hat to, again, Dr. Bastieri, who continues to seek these innovation career pathway programs for us. Now, we don't, we're not going to get the grant dollars that go with it.
Okay, so.
So it's setting up a pathway of courses we already have,
Right.
and hopefully leading to some of those CTE designations with courses we already have, which won't require more funding. And as you know, if we do take that down the field further into CTE, we will actually get funding from Perkins and federal grants. So yes, we, you know, again, you have to tip your hat to Karen Big O'Brien and Dr. Bastieri, because they continue to push for the designation, even though we weren't able to get the grant dollars.
That's great.
Yeah.
So with that, will there be any sort of affiliation that you'll be able to?
We're working on it.
Correct.
We were just with Corning, as you know, when they raised their 175th year flag, and we were salespeople. We were pushing. We have kids getting ready to be in the environmental life science program. We have biotech connections, and that's our goal, is to connect them with local, well, maybe not even local industry leaders. So the innovation pathway comes with experience as well. You know, we didn't bring it up tonight, but we'll bring it up in June. Connected to that is our work-based learning grant. We have teachers who, even without the extra funding for CTE programming, who are signing up for courses this summer that we're doing in-house to be part of driving those opportunities for students. So I don't know how to better say it is, we're not going to stop pushing for these things. Unfortunately, we wish we had the grant dollars to go along with them. Luckily, we have a strong program that can support some of the pathways now.
And Dr. Bastieri is working with Mrs. Mary Jo Kelleher here at the high school during the last week of June to be offering some
work-based.
professional development with some of the work-based and Chapter 74 funding opportunities to look at additional pathways for our students. So there's some project-based learning, work-based learning, career and technical education, CTE, and Chapter 74 work being done that last week of June to continue to research and offer as many opportunities for our students as possible.
That's great. Thank you so much, really. I think for anybody in Tewksbury that doesn't understand this piece, it's huge. And I think this is really outstanding work. So thank you very much. Any other questions or comments?
Well, actually, I do have one. So with regard to grants, are we still applying regardless, despite
Yes,
the
we
fact that
Yes,
we're being told no? We're still applying.
yes.
Okay, so that the tally, unfortunately, is still growing then, of money that we're missing out on.
Yeah, and we're very hopeful, right, that we'll see some change in the fall. I know our town leaders are talking about this as
Sure.
well. It impacts the school as well as town grant funding. So, you know, and then what happens is we don't want to be out of the ball game, and it
Could change overnight.
could, and we hope so. And Dr. Bastieri also seeks private grants. That's where, you know, the MBTA Communities Act noncompliance usually doesn't impact, but they're usually more competitive, and Tewksbury doesn't always meet the requirements for some of the competitive grants.
Okay.
All right. There's other stuff I think grant related, I think we can talk about offline with Desi and maybe bring back to June, so, thank you. And congratulations on 48 seniors, with biliteracy. I think, I haven't walked the walk as long as you guys have, but I think from my first year going to the Seal of Biliteracy, to hearing you say 48, that's big.
It's big.
Thank you.
In a shorter amount of time than most districts.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
key, which speaks very highly of the teachers there at the high school who are able to bring those students along with that much level of achievement in a shorter period of time.
Yeah, and seeing now, as we talk about graduation requirements, whether, the people stand on different sides of that aisle, but that's a big, thing that people are talking about now is wanting to get those different seals, and to see that Tewksbury's kind of way ahead of the curve on that is big. Thank you.
Madam Chair, may I correct my update that the Senior Project Expo is from 8 to 10 on Friday morning?
There you go.
So,
All right,
with parents welcome to start coming in around 7:30. So my apology.
all right, we'll see you there.
I don't know where I was going tomorrow.
Mr. Libby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just going to be brief, defer most of my time to some other items on the agenda later on, but just want to bring your attention to one of another new employee as we continue our transition here in the consent agenda and the personnel action. We've had our new transportation and facilities clerk start in our office. She's Naomi Hatch is her name. She has 26 years in school transportation experience, and as a driver, a dispatcher, monitor, she's pretty much done it all in the transportation game, and has really hit the ground running with us here. She's just started the beginning of last week. She's already watched her first bus video with some of our principals, and got on a school bus and spoke to some students about the importance of behaving and safety and those types of things. So she's taken a great approach so far, and we have her learning the streets and learning the town and learning how things work here in Tewksbury on the transportation side. She's been approving our facility use forms as those come in. We're kind of hitting another transition time as we go into the summer here, so that's kind of a little busy time in that area, and she's already talking about making an electronic format, so something we've been talking about doing for quite some time, and I think she'll push that over the goal line. So just wanted to welcome her aboard, and I'll defer the rest of my time to other topics as they come up.
Any comments?
So does Naomi then become the point person for all things bus in the fall when stuff hits the fan?
Not me anymore.
Yeah, okay. But she falls under the purview of the business
Yes.
your future.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
She's doing transportation and facilities right now, learning the ropes and transportation especially, but she'll take on facilities outside of the high school.
Okay. Will we be making her more, I'm not saying you're not, more like up front and center, like, hey, contact, maybe even just a general transportation email as opposed to people have to
Yeah,
remember
when
her
she
name.
gets sort of acclimated a little bit, I didn't want to.
Of course.
Open
Yes.
it right away.
Yeah,
We'll have to update our chain of communication
right.
and obviously all of the contact information.
Because I think when something happens, it's usually call Dave Libby at the business office, right?
I got a call today on an upset parent at a bus stop, so people do need to know. It's not always obvious who they should talk to when they're upset.
Okay. Yeah, great. No, I mean, I think it's,
And Naomi's going to check that out tomorrow morning.
yeah.
She's going to the bus stop. She really is hit the ground running and very experienced.
Good. Great. Thank you.
Any other questions, Tom? I just have one. I noticed that in one of our consent spots or something, there was a update on emergency review of bus
Oh, bus evacuation?
evacuation.
Yeah.
And there was reference to teachers reviewing bus safety, bus riding safety protocol
handbook, yes.
handbook. Is that something that she has access to and she would be able to review and give her thoughts on?
Yep.
We have a longstanding practice where that document is reviewed 3 times a year with our students in class, beginning of year, middle of the year, end of year, just because different changing seasons. So, and it's also, our staff are able to access that on our internal site for resources like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but it would be worth, you know, a fresh set of eyeballs on it and,
Yeah.
and maybe a refresh for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed meeting her. I found her just a very refreshing kind of personality and competent. You know, she had some great things to say. I'm looking forward to her insight, you know. I'm looking forward to going down to 10 buses.
Okay. She can only drive one at the same time.
Anyway, no, she seemed great.
Yeah.
So welcome to Naomi. So that brings us to our, not our consent agenda, what's the next one? Correspondence and informational topics, right? Was there anything else in there that people wanted to discuss? We had 3 things in there. So before and after school programming bid summary, discussion on that?
Yeah. Good?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So I know it's been a topic of concern for a number of years. I think I've brought it up, I will speak just for myself, I know it's been brought up in the past by others, but I have personally brought it up a number of times. We had them in to do a presentation at one point. We asked a number of questions. I don't know if we ever got concrete feedback from them on how some things were going. We've done some tours with them. We've done a lot. And given our feedback pretty openly and honestly every single time, and we're still hearing a significant amount of complaints. I personally get a number of calls from parents, emails from parents, and I do attend the CPAC meetings and hear the struggles that families are facing with the after-school program. With that said, I think we've done a great thing by offering a supplement right now for our special ed families to access some after-school care. In the interim, while we work out what this contract should look like with whoever it is going forward, I appreciate Peg coming and speaking on behalf of some of the parents because it is a topic that we get often. And I think we do need to be a little bit more critical of these groups that are looking to come in and service our families and students. With that said, I support this 1-year opportunity for them to give them maybe a final chance to kind of look at their practices, how they speak to some parents, and I would like to potentially see some of the stuff that Peg actually mentioned, which I thought was a great point of data that I don't know if we've seen, is the number of students that they turn down or deny and what the reasons are for why they're denying, as well as the ones that are successful, but also the ones that are asked to leave the program mid-year or mid-cycle or whatever it is after parents have put them through. It's a hard thing to talk about. It's tough for families to find care after school for any student, regardless of their ability, and especially for a sensitive population. So I just would like it to be put out there again. I know we talk about it a lot. This isn't the first time I'm mentioning it. This isn't the first time I'm bringing it to your attention. I know you're working on it very hard behind the scenes as well. I appreciate all the work that went into the bids that came in and the what the heck is it called that we got to look at?
Request for proposal, the
Yes,
RFP.
thank you. Yes, and the data that we got back from all of that. And I understand why we're moving forward in the direction we're moving forward, in the direction we're moving, but I will just continue to advocate for something better. That's all.
Is there a proposal now for AlphaVest that we're considering? And I assume there is. And is that proposal for for 3 years, or is it a one? What are we looking at?
Yeah, we put out the RFP as a three-year deal.
Yeah.
I have contacted Alphabet to let them know that they were the chosen vendor. However, that we did have some concerns in the community, and we were comfortable. So we have a program, just signing a one-year program for now, and they were more than willing to help us address those issues that that we bring forward to them, any issues, and then we'll see how we're looking in after a one-year contract.
So they're okay with the 1 year, because
Absolutely.
you know, I usually with like a 3 year, there's a reason for doing a 3 year, and you lock in at some rates or whatever. But I mean, I didn't get the sense that was happening here. But what was I going to say?
Yeah, it's very common to do 3-year contracts.
Sure,
in
yeah.
Public bidding. But there's always a clause in every public bid that it's always subject to funding and subject to school committee approval. So, you know, we always have the right to shorten those terms if we needed to.
Yeah.
So I think they understand where we're coming from, and I think this is going to really get their attention to deal with some of these problems.
Okay. And the contract is it vetted at all by our special ed department? Did they look at some of the language?
There's also been, you know, we have, as Ms. Biagioni Smith noted, discussing behind the scenes, if you will, often, what type of connection needs to be had then with principals, special ed department, and district leadership around specific student needs. You know, and I am proud to say just this week that responsiveness really took shape with a particular family that felt like they weren't treated fairly, if you will, and that their students' needs weren't taken into account properly. I felt, and I know we talked about it, the regional director was very responsive and took a very personal approach with that family. We need to see more of that moving forward so families feel informed, and that there's a process that is between registration and then the student can't be in the program, and that they know what that is. As Ms. Ricardo suggested, no program is perfect for everyone, but we want to maintain as many of our families' participation in it after school as needed. Staffing has been an issue as well over time. It's hard to fully staff these programs, you know, noted by all of the vendors, and that's something we'd like to see through Alphabet as well as additional staffing for those students on a waiting list.
So has Candace, for example, looked at like what's being offered and saying this meets or exceeds, you know, what our requirements are for our students?
Not through the RFP proposal per se, but through the experiences that are being had, because there's been discussion. I mean, it's a sensitive nature, because we also do need parents' permission to share documents for their students, which then Alphabet will work on making accommodations. That's not an automatic that a student registers and all their documentation goes to Alphabet. That is definitely a response system when the parent says, but my student gets all this during the public school day, I want them to have those supports and services in after school. That's not necessarily, that doesn't happen without that level of communication and connection.
That's because it's a out-of-house contracting,
Yes.
where if it was intern, we'd already have it.
If it were our school day or our school
Right.
program, right,
Yeah.
we would replicate
Okay.
to the best of our ability, like
Okay.
in a club or you know, on a particular team, we would provide as much support as we can to be successful in that.
Okay.
That's our program.
This may actually be a question for you, Kayla. Was Peg mentioned like language in the contract? You know what she was referring to? Was there some discussion about how things are written or how things are worded? She mentioned something along those lines. Was that?
I don't know, that's me.
Okay.
I think
Well, I
that's
just thought
more-
maybe there was
think
some conversation that at a CPAC meeting.
I think she's more looking for something that is more inclusive and specific, versus general and open and open that would.
I interpreted that as a process in the event that a student was not being successful in the program, and some process for the parent to walk through. And that's often when we find out that there's a student in the program that has significant needs, and that communication hasn't been fully explored. And I think, I could be misinterpreting, but I believe that's what Peg really wants, is how do we make those adjustments, and if it's not clear, then it might not happen.
Well, I think what she says is our contract language should reflect our values,
Yeah, okay, that's maybe.
right?
Yeah.
So if we believe that all students should be accepted into the program, the contract language should say all students should be accepted in the program. And if it doesn't say all students are accepted in the program, it allows Alphabet to exclude certain students based on whatever
Whatever they want, yeah, I understand. Okay.
To my knowledge, and Ms. Libby may correct me, students aren't initially excluded. It's a matter of, and I know one particular student who there were concerns from the parent whether the student would be successful. It was, okay, let's have the student register and let's have the student try. And then it may, evolve or devolve, I'm sad to say, into an experience that isn't working. And that process needs to be clear, I think, for families and Alphabet to walk through, because it shouldn't be an opinion. It should be, how do we explore what the student needs and how do they staff appropriately to meet the needs of all in the program. So I think it's both.
Even outside of special education.
Right.
Let's say
Correct.
special education, we already, I think we're all on the same page. We're not comfortable with how that's working. General education, when you have students that are in a program that maybe missed the deadline, but you've had them in the program for 3 years, there's kind of the assumption they're coming back, but then the slot gets filled. How does Alphabet not make a strong effort to reach back out to that family to say, you've been here for 3 years, we know you missed the sign up, are you really not coming back before we fill your spot? Like we really don't want to fill your spot, are you really not coming back? That's something that a program in our district, I want to see them do. Another thing I want to see a program in our district do is, it's escaping me.
It's the waitlist contact?
The students that are maybe, we've talked to them already about the Ryan. Those students are kind of aged out from really needing the after-school care, but they still need the after-school care. We've talked to them about, can you please look into taking those kids and just siphoning them off the top. It's a small number. We know it's a small number. We've already talked to them. This whole school year's gone by. Have they done that work? Have they really looked into the Department of Public Health to say, can we get that space? Isn't it DPH that they're supposed to look into? Have they looked into that space to get the 7 or 8 kids over there? I don't think they've done it. They said in that paper, on that document, that they were going to do it. I bet they haven't done it. That's easy to do. That's not special education. I'm glad we're doing a 1-year contract. I am not happy with Alphabet.
Yeah.
And I think they did a really nice job with an RFP. They're saying they're giving us more money back. I don't care if we make $1 on them right now. I want a program that services our community, that services kids, that gives people what they need. And I think we've gone up and down, and there's so many people unhappy, and it makes me disappointed because it's a huge thing that families just need. So I want to see us hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And I think, are these other programs giving us less money because they were holding spots for more students that they were going to give more low-income opportunities to? Were they going to give more, were they going to pay their staff more? Were they going to have higher staffing rates? Maybe that's why we're going to make less money from them. I don't know. So let's do 1 year, but I want to be really aggressive with making sure they're doing the right thing for Tewksbury.
Right. And
I'm off my soapbox again.
Madam Chair, just, I don't know if it's clear in our summary, we did ask for our proposals from our bidders in two separate packages. We assessed their performance proposal before we looked at any pricing, so it wasn't, we didn't take that into account when we were initially evaluating the proposals from our bidders. We asked our group to just look at just strictly the performance that they proposed to provide for us. And Alphabest did have the best proposal on paper. Whether it's happening in practice, we need to address that with them.
Right, that's what I mean. So, I don't know, maybe we have to designate somebody to be the assessor.
Well, I think,
I don't know, what do you do? Get a
Yeah.
regular assessor or something, I don't know. And regular feedback, not just, maybe it's not just people that we hear that complain,
right,
but how do we get regular feedback from families so that we know if what we're hearing is the majority or is it just the silent minority? I don't know.
We do
The
any kind of
loud
survey?
minority.
well, they do an end of year, but as you were thinking the same as I was, is potentially TPS offers a beginning, maybe quarterly
Right.
satisfaction survey outside of the end of year Alphabet survey. Just, there are families, and let's see what they're thinking, because I agree with you. When you get an email, it definitely may not be the majority, but we won't know till we find out.
Right. So, and I'll apologize if the majority of people are truly happy and we're wrong. But
We generally don't always hear from satisfied people, but it doesn't matter. When you hear from only a handful or more that are dissatisfied, it's incumbent on us to do something about that.
and I'm not saying it's the people that are doing the work right now. I think we have outstanding people I know that are there day to day working with the students.
Yeah.
It's not the people that are doing the jobs with our students. It's the overarching company. It's not the people. We know that. Okay. There were a couple other things. There was some school transition events. Are there any comments on that? You guys want to add anything over there?
No, that's a lengthy document. As I said, take a look. There's a lot happening, and I think you are aware this is a fairly new tradition that we not only give you all the end of year, but how we transition everybody back. And I'm just pleased to see what the schools were offering, and not too many changes from last year, but and some of you are going to go through them yourself as your children move grade level or move schools. So put it up on your fridge, and the schools add it to their school calendar as well.
I like that you have it all kind of mapped out. It makes me also think, it reminds me that I hope it's still kind of on our radar to do some sort of curriculum offering for families in some way. Sort of like a curriculum night. Maybe staff is interested in doing that. I don't know, at some point during the year. And then you did a nice job already discussing NAFLA award.
Yeah.
No. Okay. And consent agenda? Anything else in there?
No.
Do we just had a vote on the donations?
Motion to approve the donations that were presented tonight in the consent agenda.
Second.
All right. And because of some money, I'm going to do roll call. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
And Mrs. Biagioni Smith?
Hi.
And I vote aye as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And school committee member reports. Anything on the CPAC?
The CPAC met Thursday night, the night of the award ceremony, so we weren't there, but they did send an email. They have a new executive board. Their co-chairs remain the same, Ann Seichter and Peg Ricardo. They have a new secretary, that is Dina Mancini, and 4 parents at large who have been present and working with them over the years: Rachel Davis, Erin Magner, Al Mancini, and Cara Toomey. They do have some spots that are open, and they're hoping to fill in the fall, so looking forward to having some new faces maybe there.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And wellness committee?
No update, but there is a meeting next week the Wednesday.
Okay. And I noticed a sign that was hanging outside here. Was that the Wellness Committee? That was like May.
Oh, the one hanging up on the, yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, for May.
It's a big green
Yeah, awareness
mental
month or
health or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, that must have been
I'm
one
not
of the
sure.
other school groups. And Policy Subcommittee, I think we had to cancel last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we canceled last week, so we have a meeting coming up after that. And policy changes, with a few policies, nothing new, but moving on. Informational reading, review and/or revise. We have JEB entrance age and IKE promotion and retention of students. Nothing to do with this here today. We're just reviewing this, just for informational reading right now. Any questions or comments on those? No? First reading, review and/or revise. Nothing to do on these as well. IJ instructional materials. IJL library materials section selection and adoption. And IJLR library media materials discard removal procedures. Any discussion on those? First and final reading, these have been reviewed and there's no or minimal revisions were made. These are for voting tonight. IA instructional goals, IL evaluation of instructional programs, and AD educational philosophy. Any discussion on these? Okay, so is there a motion?
Yeah, I would motion to approve these policies, IA as a slate, IA instructional goals, IL evaluation of instructional programs, and AD educational philosophy.
I'll second. Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so those are all voted through. And then we can try to get those updated and shared out to our community. Second and final reading, reviewed and revised. These are also for voting tonight. GCIA philosophy of staff development and GCRD tutoring for pay.
If no discussion, then I would motion to approve GCIA philosophy of staff development and GCRD tutoring for pay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Those as well can go out for distribution. And then this is for rescind. This is a duplicate of IHAMA, which is IHAM-1, parental notification relative to sex education. So where there's two, we did not need two of these. So any discussion?
Sure, so if no discussion, then I would motion to rescind IHAM1, parental notification relative to sex education.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and that's unanimous as well. For some old business, we have, again, our school calendar for 26-27 school year.
Madam Chair, I'll take that. We have one final change, I promise, to our conference dates. The Tewksbury Memorial High School would like to hold their conferences on Monday, November 9th. And this is an update and for informational purposes only. So,
Okay. All right, any discussion on changing the conference date for the high school?
No?
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Want a
No,
motion?
Any motion, any motion?
I don't know if we need to.
Does it need a vote?
I think no,
Approved it.
you've approved
It's
it.
been
It
approved.
it only,
No
yeah, it
issues
only
are
moved the
coming.
conference
Thank
night. No, yeah. I think
Okay.
you're okay
Not a
without
major
voting in that change.
No vote.
There's been a lot of votes on this calendar.
much appreciated, but
We'll vote on our meeting dates, though. So we have the 26,
Yes.
27 school committee meeting dates. Are there any issues or concerns with those? And we really don't have to vote on these either. These are just more for,
Yeah.
I think if you do choose to vote, remember, they can always be amended if you have to, but this allows Ms. Caliendo to publish
Post
and
it.
post all of your meetings.
Yeah.
For the, at least through the remainder of the 2026 calendar year.
and these we can change as we see fit. These don't need to be voted on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate we changed the July date, because that was going to be a
I
problem.
think that
so-
was the only one. that
Yeah.
was-
I think it's the only change, correct.
I can't plan that far out, so.
This, our agenda does say vote. Do we want to vote, or are we?
No, we don't
Okay.
need to vote on this. And what did we change the July date to?
The
It was
26th.
the 21st.
Yeah.
The following week.
Yeah,
Oh, that's.
I'm sorry, the
that.
29th.
29.
Yeah, that's,
So we move July
I even have glasses on.
29. Okay, that's fine. Okay. All right. And then quarter 3 budget expenditure update and summary. So we're back to Mr. Libby.
Yeah, just for your information, we're trying to make this a quarterly update to keep the public and the committee updated on the status of our finances in the district. So, again, presented the current spending and encumbrances, which is the money we know we're going to have to spend through purchase orders or through salary, and where we are in the current year. We're winding down through to our June 30th end of fiscal year, and we're watching the finish line closely and projecting what we have for expenses beyond the known, and planning for that accordingly. This is just our quarter 3 update that we, so it represents spending through most of the first quarter of the calendar year. Happy to take any questions or comments, concerns.
Anything from anyone?
No.
No questions. And, we did start this a few years ago, and I appreciate this a lot. I think it's really helped from a committee perspective for us to kind of stay connected, I think, with the budget process through the year. And also to keep us a little more, I think, in tune with, I think, some of the cost centers. So I think when, there needs to be kind of a shift, it's not a surprise. And then, for some of the areas like, when you talk about substitutes or other things, I think we understand it a little better because we see kind of like where those trends are. So I do appreciate this process. So hopefully, as you bring on somebody else, they appreciate
We're cloning all of these
appreciate the
processes,
process
that's
too.
right, and any better ones.
Or something like it, because I think somehow staying connected to this budget process as a committee is helpful. I don't know, I think there'll be new ways to do things, and whatever those ways are might be okay too, but just as long as processes kind of continue to work. I'm advocating for that. So, anything else from anyone?
No.
All right, so thank you very much.
New business?
Yeah, new business, we have our Valley Collaborative board member appointment for 27.
Madam Chair, each year, Ryan, maybe you're not unaware, the committee needs to vote on the appointment of the person you wish to serve on the Valley Board of Directors. Valley Collaborative is our collaborative special education school. Typically, the superintendent serves on this board. So again, your appointment to next year's Valley Board of Directors needs to be voted on.
Okay, so, Dr. Milligan, is this something that you're interested in taking on?
Yes.
Andy,
Yes, of course, on behalf of the committee.
Great.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Dr. Milligan as the Valley Collaborative FY27 board member.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much for taking the time. Director, and Mrs. Terry, again, thank you so much for your time doing this, because it's been a big lift, and I think it's something I forget you were even doing. So, thank you.
Yeah,
It's been a
thank
lot of
you.
work.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next item in new business is I presented you with a Merrimack College graduate course tuition waiver gifted to our school district based on Karen Baker O'Brien's coordination and leadership of Taylor Anderson, who served as her designee to mentor counseling candidate Carly Costetta. Karen recommends that this gift go to Taylor for all her work in the day-to-day supervision of Carly. Accepting this gift will require a vote of the committee. And before you do that, I know you've seen, for your years of service on the school committee, you see many of these tuition waivers from Merrimack. And that is because of Karen Baker O'Brien's just dedication to shepherding in and mentoring in many school adjustment and guidance counselor candidates. To date, Karen has supervised over 50 in her career, and many of those that she has supervised in Tewksbury now work here. So it's a great opportunity for us to learn from new staff as well as them to learn from us. I hope it's something that can continue when Karen retires. But in your packet is the course waiver for her most recent supervision.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Merrimack College tuition waiver as presented.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And, our school committee assignments. So these are kind of not complete for right now. So, Mr. Cutlass, we had some modified assignments, while he was here with us on the committee. So right now, our assignments as they are as they are. So, at some point, hopefully we'll have another member with us and we'll make some adjustments and see maybe where they fit and would like to serve with us. So for now, the committee assignments are as they are. And I, kind of had reached out to see, where everybody was interested in serving. So if you want to take a look at these and see if everybody's comfortable kind of fitting in these spots for now, and then maybe making some adjustments once we see if we can fill that role. So for now, Chris, having you have served well on wellness, Ryan interested in kind of filling that spot there. Mm-hmm. Policy, Chris and I staying there. CPAC, Kayla and Ryan. LPAC, should that kind of start back up for the district? Mm-hmm. Kayla and Chris would take that back. Safety and security, Kayla, student voice working group, whatever that might look like. Kayla is interested in kind of taking that on as the liaison, as kind of more of our community outreach for the committee. And then maybe once that kind of looks like something and comes to fruition, you could kind of more bring different committee members into something once you figure that out for us maybe. But be like the point person. And again, thanks for the work you did with our student. For collective bargaining, for now we have Kayla and I for the TTA and ESPs. Custodians would be Chris and Ryan, as well as secretaries, and then tag would be it was Jamie and I, and then nurses Jamie and I, and food services was Ryan and Kayla. But so for now, kind of just keep this as it is. If you guys are comfortable with that, we can vote on this as it is, and then regroup.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the school committee assignments for 26-27, with the caveat that we will fill tag and nurses when needed.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay. Next in here. And then what else? Where are we at?
Transportation.
Transportation.
Transportation. For 100, Alex. So we conducted a bid for our transportation services in the district. Under the 30B statute, we're required to do so. Bid was posted on Combis Run, which is the site that folks in the business go to look for opportunities. That's run through the Operational Services Division in the state. We're also required to post the availability of our need for services in the Goods and Services Bulletin through the Inspector General's office for 2 weeks. So that process was all completed on April 13th, and we opened the, we had a bid opening on that date. We did have a couple of companies that submitted bids for just the special ed transportation piece, and not the big yellow bus piece. And we had some inquiries about that as well during the process from companies. The thinking behind not allowing that type of bid, and discussing this with like the town manager and some other colleagues in the school business world. There are fixed costs associated with conducting this business. They get spread out over the number of vehicles that are in the contract. When you have a smaller number of vehicles, like if we only accepted bids on big yellow buses, those fixed costs get spread over 22 vehicles. The way we do it, spreads that cost over 32 vehicles and is, we believe, a better way to conduct the bid. So the companies that did submit bids for just the van piece had to be deemed unresponsive to the total services that we required. We did have a lot of questions and a lot of interest from companies during the process, but we've only received the full, complete bid package from Tewksbury Transit. So, they've been our contractor in Tewksbury for quite a long time, albeit under a new management team now through Student Transportation of America, but I would recommend that we approve the contracts with them for the next 3 years at the rates shown in our proposal. I know the FY27 is the only one where we had a existing budget in place. I had put in a projected increase, what I thought we would be near, and we're pretty close to that number with the bid that we received from Tewksbury Transit. So,
Okay.
happy to answer any questions, concerns.
Was the increased number of questions and was that an increase? That's what I meant to say. Was that an increase from typical?
Yeah,
I feel like
it
we
was.
usually
I
only
was-
get.
We had a lot more activity throughout the process, and I expected that would result in more active bidding, but we didn't see that on April 13th, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. That's all.
What's the increase from our, like,
What's that?
what's the current increase then from what the contract is now to the newest? Do you know?
About 8%.
Oh, yeah, never mind, it's right
Yeah.
in front of me, sorry.
Yep. We had baked in some, an increase on, not knowing what the contract was gonna come in at, based on, what we were seeing in other districts. The price of, the equipment is increasing quite a bit. School buses aren't cheap, so keeping the vehicles fresh and running, and, we didn't build in, some towns build in a fuel escalation clause that, the price goes up if, fuel escalates beyond a certain percentage. We don't do that, so we know what we're gonna pay. We let them accept the risk of any anticipated fuel increases, and we want to know what our price is over the next 3 years.
Any chance they would consider more late buses for the same cost?
We could look into that.
I mean, I'm looking at 3 late buses. It just seems like it's not enough.
I'll let Mr. Libby speak to this, but we have not had great concern or complaint that there aren't seats now.
No, I mean,
we-
just like for the schools. I mean, when we talk about our Appendix B programming, we've got, a late bus that goes to the Wynn.
The high school, the Wynn, the Ryan, but not
No, we haven't run them at the Ryan in the past couple
so
of years.
not elementary at all.
No, just the Wynn in the high school.
So if they want to run any programming at the Ryan right now, there's no late buses at the Ryan.
There is not.
So they haven't had, so like when they have, like I remember years ago we had them, the Kindness Club had them, there was a lot of programming at the Ryan, they had Recycling Club, kindness club,
Running club.
running club, drama club. I could probably think, there was a good 6 clubs at the Ryan that used to run, and there was a late bus. I don't think they've had that in a long time.
We could use the same late buses, but it is a little awkward because the high school and Wynn are on the same schedule. If we wanted them to come to the Ryan, that would be more the look, the same, because it's a route, it's not necessarily an extra bus.
They route the bus every day based on the riders. Students sign up in the office during the day. And then we send a list to the bus company. They start about noontime developing a route, get those to the bus drivers. That we run them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
So I can review the sign-up sheet.
Something to think about. I know that as we talk about it in Appendix B, and just wanting that programming to kind of just trickle down a little bit into those younger grades, I think a lot of it's going to depend on if you can support them with a late bus.
And it's not only the Appendix B, from my perspective, and I would assume Dr. Milligan agrees with me, it's equity. You know, some of the very students we need to stay after school don't have a ride, but we need them there for whatever it is, right? Extra help. So I think it's worth looking in if we can, now that we have the Ryan and Center different than the rest.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a good time. If we're looking at this now, anything we can do to support some of those kids that we are, once this is done, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll run as many late buses as we say we need.
Painful.
Again, through this bid process, we need to provide an estimate for people to base their numbers on and base their, kind of business model on. So, we've only been running two late buses at those 2 schools. I put 3 in the bid in case we did do something at the Ryan. The problem is, but when you provide late buses at the school, with 1 bus, the route's too long.
Right.
You really have to split the town in 2. It's hard to run
Right.
and without, having kids on the bus for.
Yeah, I just think they're talking about trying to bring back some sort of a theater program at the Ryan.
Right.
And just some of the things that, it's not there now, but in the next 3 years, maybe it'll be there.
And we have accessed the Ryan before, not the younger then, because it's too late. It just is too late.
And it gets dark.
It does get dark, but yeah.
Those 2 buses that go to the high school and the Wynn, those are the same time though, right? So it's
Yeah.
1 and 1, but
Yes.
the numbers are
That's
probably
why I
much
say we've
smaller.
adjusted our hours. It may be time to bring the Ryan.
Yeah,
Would they be done in
They
time
get there
to?
about 3:15. They both have a center school Ryan run at 2:30.
After they do their,
No, before they do the late run. And so they finish their Ryan
okay.
Center route that leaves
Oh,
at
do the late.
2:30-ish. Get to those schools about 3:15,
To pick up the
which is a
late
little
at the high
later
school.
than the schools like. They run, most of their programs are an hour, and they get out, their day ends at 2. So they do have a little bit of lag.
They'd need to be at the Ryan for 3:45-ish and be okay an hour after, or a little before that, an hour after the contract day.
Okay.
But the way our structure is now, we have 22 buses in the fleet. We use 16 at the Dewing and the Heathbrook. So that tier of the day has some availability of buses.
Okay.
It's all a matter of, do we think it's worth adding more buses to the fleet? We don't want to spend, another $200 a day, and we only have 3 kiddos sign up.
It just kills me that it's $400 from 0 to 25 miles.
Yep.
So when the students are taking a bus from here to the Heathbrook, Like when you're doing the move-up day?
No, that's an in-town shuttle. That falls under the in-town shuttle category.
Oh, that's 200, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's field trip athletics.
Those are trips that go out of Tewksbury.
Okay. But it's still 17.5% increase.
Yeah.
Over 3 years. And then for gasoline, were you able to negotiate that as a fixed cost?
That's a fixed cost, yeah. We don't have a fuel escalation.
Okay.
Which is really good right now.
Great. Thank you. There are no questions.
We voted on that, yes?
Yep, we vote.
Make a motion to approve the transportation contract and bid information as presented.
Second.
Okay. And it's financing, so Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Deidre Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. Thank you again, Mr. Libby.
Thank
And,
you.
He's good. Your team who's on your RFP group.
We have one more. Mr. Libby, our topic and new business.
Yep. And bus evacuation drill schedule. Yep, we did touch on this once.
Yeah, just for information for the committee that those were, well, we have that on the agenda for the
Last meeting.
the May 13th meeting as those were going on, and they have been conducted and complete. We have all of our kiddos jump off the back of buses. Big help.
All right, thank you. And anything else that anybody would like to add?
I think we did pretty good for all the amount of information and recognitions we had tonight.
Yeah, for missing a meeting and, yeah,
We didn't have to do a sleepover.
no. Any matters of interest, Tom?
No, I think everybody has so much going on. I don't want to miss anyone. Just wish everyone a good luck with the end of the year and finals and all of the in-between.
Okay.
I caught a couple performances of Matilda. I was talking to someone. Apparently they had 4 award nominees from the cast that are going down to New York to do their auditions for that. The Win had their performance of Flawless Learning that won first place at the middle school festival. So they continue their 7, 8 year streak of winning that. We had Memorial Day this week. I was sitting with a bunch of the veterans yesterday. They were all appreciative of Miss Pellegrino, the chorus, the band who came out and weathered the storm with us. Huddled out under that tent as tightly as we can get in there, and just gave it the dignity that it deserved. They were all saying it was one of the best ceremonies in the past couple of years that they can remember, even with the weather. So that they wanted to applaud the students who came out and performed, and then the parade involvement. They were very well put together. There was some safety measures put in place, so the actual railings on the trucks and things were secured, so no one was accidentally going to fall off if they saw someone and wanted to give them a little extra wave or something like that. Yeah, and candy everywhere. I think I got hit with 3 lollipops. So.
Yeah. No, I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Caliendo. I think you've done an outstanding job for the fact that we had the last minute missing of a meeting, and then you had to kind of help us condense into one meeting. So thank you for all your work in reorganizing everything. So thank you. And also, just for the committee update, I will be reaching out to the select board chair to kind of sort out some of the logistics on how we will be moving forward with reaching out to the community to let them know that we have a vacancy in our committee, and then the select board will take the reins on how that will happen, and we will have, also support them in publicizing that and seeing what we can do about trying to get a 5th member until there's a opportunity for somebody to run for that seat. is how I think that will happen. We'll see what select board chooses to do. Let's see what else I had, matters of interest. I think that was it. Commencement, if you could, RSVP, that's what I was asked to reach out to you guys for, and that's it. And then future meeting dates, we have a CPAC business meeting on June 18th, 2026, Wellness Advisory Committee, June 3rd, Policy Subcommittee, June 16th, future agenda items.
A regular business, regular meeting.
And real quick, I think we just need to double check the CPAC meeting. It might be the 11th because the 18th is the last day of school. I believe they are, I thought that they moved it to the 11th, but I just want to confirm that before.
Okay. All right, so maybe the 11th. And so that would be it. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss approval of executive session minutes, collective bargaining pertaining to the TTA bargaining unit. And then after that, we will adjourn our meeting at the end of executive session. I would not return into open.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada, how do you
Aye.
vote? Mrs. P. John Smith, and so we will adjourn open meeting at 7:15 and into executive session.